Hello Littlesilver family, how are you doing? Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome back to this video, and if you're my community, thank you so much for always supporting me. For new viewers, please consider subscribing and supporting this community as well. It matters a lot. In this channel, we share experiences based on adventure, lifestyle, and the risks in between. In today's video, we are going to look at on ways you can avoid fines in Dubai, or probably know also the things that can land you in jail. The rules in UAE are quite strict, so it's always best to know on what you're supposed to do before you find yourself on the wrong side of the law. And the law here, there's no mercy. It could seem easier, for instance, for a Kenyan. If you are in Kenya or you are in, for example, Uganda, or you are in Nigeria, you can always manipulate your way out. But in UAE, if it's jail time, it's jail time. If it's a fine, you will pay the fine. So it's better to stay on the right lane. And this is regardless on your status of residency in the country, whether you're a visitor or you're a resident. So the first thing is, I'll start on something that is very common. For example, you can be easily tempted to work while on a visit visa. This is highly not recommended, and you can get a fine for that. And with that, you get a fine, and your employer as well gets a fine. So make sure you have a work permit before you engage in working. I have seen some dodgy employers trying to go around that. They try to convince you to work for them. Maybe a similar thing I saw was that there was some hotel which was telling people to go and do like a tester work. Like, come work for 1 week. We see if we want to keep you, then we can keep you. And I was straight away thinking, oh, that's fraud. Like, it's like you're just trying to find cheap labor. And with that, even if you agree to get paid on this 1 week, this employer will not pay you because they know you cannot take them anywhere. If at all you take them, you report them, then you're on the wrong. You're working on visit visa. So they know it's like they have a higher side on this case. So do not be convinced to work while you're on your visit visa. Just follow the right procedures and inshallah work when you have proper working documents. The second part is tapping your transportation cards. The Dubai transportation system is very well interconnected. Sometimes some people may think it's relaxed because we don't have, let's say, like the city council people from our own countries that following you around. Sometimes it can seem the bus is unsupervised, but there are those Roads and Transport Authority workers who hop in the bus anywhere, anytime, and they scan your cards. If your card is not tapped at the metro station, if your card is not tapped when you enter the bus, then you get a fine. So just to avoid little things, for example, let's say you're going on a 3 dirhams journey, and then the person hopped in and you get fined. The fine is 200 dirhams. It's attached to your visit visa or your Emirates ID, and it can reflect in the systems. So if you don't pay on the specified time, you're supposed to go and clear the fine at the Road and Transport Authority offices. But if you don't go thinking anyone will forget, no, it will just stay in the system. That day you want to exit at the airport, then you have to clear it. Otherwise, trust me, you're missing your flight and it will cause more damage than it was intended to. Apart from tapping your transportation card, also you're supposed to be in the right cabin. This is only on train, it's where we have separate cabins. The bus is okay regardless. So if you're entering the train, make sure you're in the right cabin. The train has 2-class configuration. Wherever you see the aircraft terms. Yeah, the train has 2 sections. You have the gold class and the silver class. So depending on whichever class you are in, you have 2 cards. This is gold class and this is silver class. So if you are going to the normal cabin, you tap this. Don't go to the gold section, even if you have this card, because they'll scan both and they know which one you tap. But if you choose to tap the gold one and choose to be in the normal cabin, no one will ask you. So yeah. And for men, we have on the normal cabin, we have one side which is for ladies. You will see a lot of pink in it. Even on the doorstep as you enter the train, you will see pink. If you're found as a man in that cabin, then you'll still get a fine. So that's all. It's good to avoid these things. Visa fines. You're supposed to keep your visa updated at all times. For example, if you're on visit visa, just make sure after your visit visa expires, you have 10 extra days. Update your visa before then. If you have employment visa and it's done, you have 1 month extra. After 1 month, you're supposed to change your status. Otherwise, you will get overstay fines. And these ones, you'll also get them at the airport. Whenever you want to get out of this country, whichever fine that was accumulated when you're here, you'll have to clear it. Don't drink alcohol in public places. For example, the beach, the parks, you cannot drink alcohol in those places. Otherwise, you can end up in jail or fines. It's because this is a Muslim community and they have these strict Islamic rules. So some of these things are considered to be indecent. So yeah. And if you want to, for example, drink in your house, there are certain criteria that you meet. You have to have an alcohol license. And for the alcohol license, you only consume at your house. Whenever you go to buy, you're not supposed to go and consume elsewhere. It's stated, you can, if you breach the rules, then maybe your license is revoked. And even if you have a license, you cannot go drinking at the park, you cannot go drinking at the beach. So yeah. There's no public display of affection anywhere around the world. It's easily to notice people like being together, arguing, kissing, but those things are not tolerated here. It's strictly you're supposed to behave because they say some of these behaviors do not portray the right morals to the society. So you display of affection, and you're supposed to dress well. In some of the Emirates, it's strict, like Sharjah, Abu Dhabi, they are more strict. And in Dubai, even though it's more modern and it's a hub, a tourist hub, you'll still feel weird. Like you'll find these people. If you dress some sort of way, you will find some people like just looking at you weirdly, like. But yeah, you just choose your outfits depending on where you're going. So I would say. So you're not supposed to swear in WhatsApp messages to anyone or say abusive words to them, exchange of vulgar language. No, you're not supposed to do that unless it's family and friends. Yeah, and the family and friend relationship has to be really established, because otherwise someone can be like, no, I'm not your friend, so you can end up being in problems. A privacy invasion. You cannot, for example, you can, as if you are a couple, you cannot spy on your husband or spy on your wife, because you can get fined. And the jail term is 3 years in jail or 100 to 300,000 dirhams of fine. You cannot take pictures of people or videos of people without their consent. Especially if you intend to post the videos. No, not really. Even if you don't, yeah, you cannot just take videos of it, because that someone can just report you and you can end up in jail. So it's 6 months jail time for taking people's videos or an image, or 500,000 dirhams fine. Then another thing is, if you ever pass somewhere and you find an accident has taken place, do not take any pictures, do not take any videos, because that as well is illegal. So the fine is, it's between 50,000 dirhams and 3 million dirhams, deportation, and as well life imprisonment. So it's not like anywhere else in the world where you just see someone dead and take pictures, or just bodies of people lying in an accident scene and take. So it doesn't happen here. And the last one is fundraising. There's not much of fundraising activities that happen here, especially individual fundraising, unless you have a fundraising permit. And this is inclusive of merry-go-rounds, chamas. There's no chamas. Your jail time is 1 year in jail or 100,000 dirhams. So just be at the right place with the right people at the right time, doing the right thing with the right people at the right time to avoid these fines. And it's just simple. So yeah, that's it for today's and fines. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for supporting me. I do appreciate your support. Please share this video with your friends, like, comment, and tell your friends to subscribe. And if you're a new viewer, please consider to subscribe as well. And we share awesome content, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.